Hey everyone, it's Ryan. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my caramels. Okay, to start off with, we are going to get one stick or a half a cup of butter, and this is unsalted butter. If you're using salted butter, just make sure to omit the salt that we add later on. So I'm going to get this in the microwave to melt real quick, and then we'll do a few other things. All right, so while that's in the microwave, I have a little 8x8 pan here and then some aluminum foil. This is not necessary. If you wanted to just spray or butter this pan, you would be just fine. I like putting something else in here so that it's easy to lift up, lift out, just in case your caramels are a little difficult. So just form your foil into the bottom of the pan. I know this is loud. Make sure you don't tear it because then the caramel will seep out. Just fold it over. And you could use like freezer paper or even probably parchment paper. I've only ever done it with freezer paper and foil. This. Just make sure it's down in there. Flatten it out so that you don't have weird like ridges on the outside of your caramels. So now we are going to very liberally spray this. And yes, baby girl is over playing, so you will hear her throughout. Lots of spray, lots of butter, whatever you're using, because you don't want your caramels to stick to any of this. So I'm going to set this aside, grab my butter. Okay, butter is not yet melted. Grab my recipe here. So we have the half a cup of butter, and then I'm going to go ahead and open these. These are actually those little yogurt containers. That one brand of yogurt that comes in the little glass jars. And I found these lids on Amazon. So we bought those because we do like to save these little jars. So we have the half a cup of butter, half a cup of corn syrup, half a cup of sugar, half a cup packed brown sugar, half a cup of sweetened condensed milk, and then we will use salt and vanilla. Okay, butter is melted, and this whole thing is going to cook in the microwave. I know some of you are probably like, does he cook anything on the stovetop? I do, but if I can find an easier way to do something that honestly, Christmas candy normally takes a lot of time. So if I can find an easier way to do it, I'm going to do that. So half cup butter, we're going to do our sugar, brown sugar, that's probably going to need some help getting out of here. I did have to pack it in this little thing too. Okay. These little spatulas are one of my favorite kitchen tools. Okay, I am going to go ahead and stir this up just to help the process along as we're going. Half a cup of corn syrup. And I do have all of this already set out because, like I've said in a lot of my other videos, I'm trying to do this while baby girl is either napping or playing by herself, with supervision, of course, but I'm trying to make this process as easy as possible for me so that I can get as many videos done as I can, because it's the Christmas time and I really want to get these candy videos out there for you guys so you can have them and make candy before the actual holiday is gone. So now we are going to mix all of this up. here. It is very grainy right now. So we are going to put this in the microwave for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and then we will stir it and check it again. And I am going to rinse this whisk before we put it back into this mixture because there's granules of sugar on that and we do not want it in here. So I'm going to put this in the microwave, rinse my whisk, and we'll come back and mix it. All right, so that just came out. I'll put this under here just so my counter doesn't cool it off and so that you guys don't have to hear that annoying sound. But it is super bubbly, so we're going to whisk it. Scrape any of that off the side as much as you can, get it down in there. Now we're going to put it back in the microwave for another 3 minutes. Okay, so as you can see here, it is super boiling. It's boiling and very bubbly. So I'm going to add a little salt. You could have added your salt ahead of time. I honestly forgot to put it in there. It is fine. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to go ahead and pour that in. And now we're going to mix this. And this is it. This will just go into your pan and then into your refrigerator. And all while this was microwaving, I got all of my dirty dishes clean. So yes, I had everything laid out in multiple containers, but if you're doing this, I love to work with a clean kitchen. So trying to make sure to clean up as I go is very important. So I got all of that washed, and now all I have to do is wash the whisk and a few other things. So now we're just going to pour this in our pan. If you wanted thinner caramels, you could put this into a bigger pan. I also have some little cellophane wrappers. You could also take the time in between while this is microwaving to cut out pieces of wax paper, but I have these little cellophane sheets, and I'll put the link in the description down below. But they came in super handy last year whenever I made candies. So I'm going to use those again this year. This now just goes in your refrigerator until it is set up and firm. So it's going to be in there for a few hours because, like I said, I have a few more things I'm going to make today. So, and don't be concerned about, you can see sort of the oil around the outside. That is from the spray. If you had butter, it would also be the butter because it would melt with the caramel being so hot. So put this in your refrigerator and come back to it once it is set up. I will come back and show you the next steps here in a little bit. Okay, the caramel has been in the refrigerator for probably 4 hours at this point. So what we're going to do is just lift it out. Like, it's literally that simple. I'm going to lift it out. And also, let's clean up. Super clean. Caramel never touched it. And the caramel just comes right off of the aluminum foil. So I have just a piece of wax paper here. Flip it over onto that. Take the foil off. Get rid of that. And we're going to let this just sit here and hang out for a few. I don't want it to be out at room temperature for like very long at all, but I do need it to come to a little less chilled temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and lay out my little cellophane sheets. And actually, I'm just going to take out a stack, set them over here off to the side. And these are, so this is cellophane, but it is, let me find it on here. So it's a natural cellophane wrapper. They're made from renewable trees, And so it's not truly plastic. So I thought it was a good alternative. Um, and I'll show you, since I have a little extra wax paper over here, what we used to do. So we would literally just cut strips of wax paper, and this is what we would use as our wrappers before. So we'll do a few that way as well, just so I can show y'all that you don't have to go buy those. But I feel like these were relatively inexpensive. I will put the link in the description to that, because when you make a lot, this just makes your life a lot easier. So I like to make them more like a candy you would buy in a store. So I like to make them sort of skinny but long pieces. So actually I'm doing this wrong and I need gloves. Again, I'm using gloves because this is just messy and I just want to. So what we're actually, ignore that cut. So I'm going to figure out how many I want, how wide I want each piece. So I think, and for these, it just makes more sense to make them longer. Okay, we'll do this in 4. So I'm going to cut it in half first. Be very careful. Make sure you have a hot or a sharp knife. You can actually dip this in hot water if you would like. So I'm going to cut this in half again. And this one in half. All right, so now we can focus on just cutting these into strips. So some of these, like this one, it's a little odd shaped. So I will actually sort of help it along. And I like to have one clean hand that hasn't touched the caramel and one that touches the caramel. So I just picked up the cellophane with the caramel and I'm setting that off to the side. So I'm not wrapping each one individually as I go. We are going to assembly line this a little bit more. Maybe. All right. And again, you can cut yours as big or as little as you want. That is totally your call. I just know that I have quite a few people that I'm going to be giving candy to this year. So I'm trying not to make them huge pieces. I would like for them to go a little further. And you can do this one of 2 ways. You could either do a strip and then wrap them, or you could just let them, if you have a lot of space, you can just do the whole thing and then twist them. I'm just going to do 1 row right now, and then I will speed through the rest so you can watch the assembly line happen. Keep trying to make sure that my microphone has not died. This is probably the most filming I've done in one day in a while. So I'd rather not do a voiceover later on. All right. 2 more out of here. Okay, and this one, again, is a weird shape. So I'm just going to shape it a little better. Okay, Now this is why I said you could do all of it, because I'm not going to twist them with greasy hands. So you're just going to, let me make sure you can see it. Yes. So these work very well. You're just going to roll it up and twist it. Just like you would if you bought it. It looks just like it would if you bought it in the store. Twist it really tight and it holds together. And I do like to, no, I'll show you on the next one. I like to leave the ends sort of fanned out so it's not like a tight little roll on the end. So if you grab it back here with your thumb and hold it tight, you can sort of keep that fanned out look on that end. Do the same over here. Yeah, so they're super cute. And the kids could help with this part. I know that's what we did a lot. Mom or dad or whoever was cutting the caramels would cut and then we would wrap them. That way we were helping but also not handling the hot caramel or the sharp knife. And the doing these in the microwave, sort of foolproof. I know that back in the day when I had my shop, cooking caramel on the stove, I mean, in a holiday season, I would probably make, I don't even know, I would say probably for double this amount, I would do them 9 by 13 at a time. And I would probably do at least 4 batches of those. And standing over the hot stove, cooking caramel is no fun and it takes a while. And then if you get all the way done and you scorch your sugar or, you know, something just is wrong, you're out a good amount of time and energy doing that. So this literally took, I mean, if you count melting the butter, it took like 10 minutes tops, even getting your ingredients together to cook this caramel. So it is much simpler. It's a huge time saver. And yeah, I will likely never, well, never say never, but I do not plan on going back unless it's for a video. Forgot to do one of the wax paper. So I'll just cut this one. And again, with the wax paper, it doesn't always behave as nicely to do the full roll. And actually that is too small. So I'm going to cut a smaller one. Same concept. Like I said, it just doesn't do so well with the rolling of the ends, and a lot of times it'll tear the wax paper. So you could also just fold the paper up and over, and then you just have that. However you want to do it, if you're going to do it like this, cut bigger pieces. This worked fine. So however you want to do it your way. And put these in a little cup that I have over here. And then I'm just going to assembly line the rest of this. So I will speed through it so you can watch. Okay, got them all laid out. So now we just roll. And these become so popular. Everybody is grabbing them because just easy to grab. I just usually put them in a bowl or like a little cute little Christmas mug. Take them to work, leave them out, and people just grab them as they walk by throughout the day. And this made, gosh, I don't even know, a lot. I could go back and count them all. Let's see, I could do some sort of quick math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. So we'll say 30. So it made around 40 individual little caramels. So that's not that bad. Good amount to put in little Christmas gifts, or these make good little like boss gifts, or if you don't know what to get for that one coworker, but you feel like you need to get them a gift, give them some candy. Usually they'll enjoy it. And like I said in one of my other videos, this was Christmas time. The teachers always loved seeing my mom come to school with a tin or a platter because it meant they were getting their Christmas candy delivery for the season. When I worked at the bank, she did the same thing. So it really sort of just makes sense that this is what I do now. Grew up making candy, baking, all the things. Okay, this is probably boring for y'all to watch, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign off of this video. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to try one of these because they're gooey, and while they are delicious, I really don't think that would make very good noises for you. So, thank you for watching, and make sure you go and check out my other Christmas candy videos. And let me know if you try any of them, if you like them, if there's any other recipe or type of Christmas candy you would like to see. I think there should be, a total of 6 that I'm going to do this year. And it covers pretty much the big ones, plus the pecan tassie video. That was one I hadn't necessarily planned on doing, but I got the recipe from my mom, and I just decided, why not? Go ahead and do it this year. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, and these will stay good in your refrigerator for quite a while, honestly. Last year I had them in my refrigerator I made a lot last year. So I think we had them for at least a month in the refrigerator, and they were still delicious. So just keep them in your refrigerator in an airtight container, and you should be good.